sharp practices. They were sometimes placed under severe discipline. They were supposed to be civilians, but they were basically put under a form of military discipline. And as fast as they were recruited, a lot of them are leaving.
The Turks are in full retreat. General von Sanders and his staff withdraw to Adana in southeastern Turkey. They will fight no more. 5 days later, von Sanders is recalled to Istanbul. He gives a farewell message to his men.
The glorious days of Gallipoli will ever remain unforgotten in the history of all times. I trust that God may grant to the people peace, tranquility, and recovery from the wounds inflicted by the long war.
Sultan Mehmed VI appeals to U.S. President Woodrow Wilson to negotiate a peace agreement with the Allies on behalf of Istanbul. The United States has not declared war on the Ottoman Empire. It has no designs on territory in the Middle East. Wilson refuses to help, and so Istanbul sends another peace envoy, General Charles Townsend, who surrendered his command at Kut al-Amra. After some negotiating, an armistice is signed on board the Royal Navy battleship Agamemnon. In fact, the document is not just a surrender. It gives the Allies permission to occupy any piece of enemy territory they wish. Not only is the Ottoman Empire out of the war, its very existence is threatened. All Turkish territory is placed at the disposal of the Allies for what is diplomatically called further operations of war. Soon after the armistice, Minister of the Interior Talat Pasha, along with Enver and Jamal, make their escape from Istanbul. Power passes to Mehmed VI, who has only been Sultan for 5 months. He wants to keep his new throne and knows he must satisfy the Allies. In France, the German military machine on the Western Front collapses. The German military leaders, who have come so close to victory, now agree to an armistice that begins on November 11, 1918. All across France, people take to the streets in a cascade of joy that has been suppressed over 4 long years of total, bitter warfare that has taken more than 8 million lives. As Turkish forces lay down their guns all across the empire, the Allies occupy the Dardanelles Straits and the Gallipoli Peninsula. Slowly but surely, the Allies start to devour Turkish land. In the east, Armenian troops march back into Turkey. In the southeast, French and Armenian troops land at Adana. In the southwest, Italian forces establish a foothold. And from the west, a Greek army of occupation lands at the city of Izmir. Most of the Turkish army, nearly 3 million strong, no longer exists. 1 out of every 3 soldiers has been killed or wounded. Hundreds of thousands are prisoners of war or have simply deserted. More than 1 million citizens in the Ottoman Empire have also died. Thousands more are starving or dying of disease. About half the empire's land is now in enemy hands. Unproductive land, and the economy is in ruins. And yet, the Turkish army is not completely destroyed. It still controls a large part of Turkey. A cadre of seasoned and committed officers pull their ranks together. The Western powers are eager to bring even more land under their control. But some Turkish generals think differently, and one of them is about to change the entire future of his country. General Mustafa Kemal, who played a key role in the defense of Gallipoli, has been held back in his career by the jealousy of Enver Pasha.
Enver Pasha was a charismatic young man who wanted to make the Ottoman Empire great. He was a aggressive and reckless. Mustafa Kemal, on the other hand, was I think smarter, also a political animal, but was more cautious, was more deliberate in his thinking. Mustafa Kemal, when he arrived at a conclusion, was then ruthless and relentless in his execution. He was a fierce fighter. He was the best commander, certainly in the Ottoman army, and certainly, as Churchill pointed out, one of the best commanders of the whole entire war.
Now, in the spring of 1919, Kemal finally gets his chance. Outside of Istanbul, the social fabric all across Turkey